Good day, Mr. Merinov.
Good day.
I've got some things that I'd like to talk with you about. Hopefully it won't take too long. We'll see, okay? All right, I'd like to start with your relationship with Miss Washington.
Okay.
All right. You're her next-door neighbor?
Yes, sir.
She lives right next door to you?
Yes, sir.
She has young children?
Yes, sir.
The young children live right next door to you?
Yes, sir.
Now, you didn't meet Miss Washington at the Royal Garden Apartments?
No, sir. I'd known her before.
You'd known her before. In fact, you'd met her at a strip club, hadn't you?
I met her at a restaurant.
Yeah, at a restaurant called the Baby Doll Lounge?
Yes, sir.
And that's the Baby Doll Lounge where women take off their clothes while men watch?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. And in fact, Miss Washington was performing when you met her.
Yes, sir.
And you struck up a conversation with her.
She struck one up with me.
Absolutely. And you bought her drinks.
Yes, sir.
And it was after you met her at the strip club that you moved into the Royal Garden Apartments.
Yes, it was later.
And there are a lot of apartments within the Royal Gardens.
Yeah, there's a lot of units.
But you moved into the unit right next door to hers.
Yes.
And her children were watching you play basketball that night.
They were.
Nice kids. I mean, in all of this, it's really a tragedy that the children are gone.
I agree.
Yeah. And your friend, Miss Washington's been terribly upset about it.
Yes, she has.
Now, she kept up that friendship with you after you moved in next door.
Yes.
So you see her when she's at work at the Baby Doll Lounge?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
And I don't go there that often.
Well, of course not. It's expensive, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it costs a lot of money.
It does.
The drinks in those clubs are not cheap.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, and if you want the girls to dance for you, you have to buy the drinks, right?
Correct.
And you bought drinks for women in the club.
I have before.
You bought drinks for Miss Washington.
I have before, yes.
Oh, of course. So, well, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not illegal,
Right.
is it? Exactly. You care for her.
I would say that. Yes, I do.
And she cares for you.
I would like to think so.
Now, did Miss Washington know when she let you live next door to her children that you were a convicted sex offender?
No, sir.
She didn't know that. You didn't tell her.
No, sir.
So she didn't know that you'd been convicted. Let me make sure that I've got this right, Mr. Merinov. You've been convicted of lewd or lascivious exhibition?
That's true.
So
I can't deny it.
you can't deny it. In fact, this was only 6 years ago?
I'm not sure how long.
Well,
ago
I'll
it
tell you
was.
what, sir. I'm going to have this marked as Defense Exhibit Delta, referring opposing counsel to the conviction record of Mr. Dimitri Merinov. Your Honor, if I might approach the witness, show them the exhibit. Sir, take a look at that. Please look at all 4 pages. Let me know when you're done.
Okay.
Now, you are that Dimitri Merinov?
Yes, sir.
One of the aliases that you go by is Ivan?
I have before.
You have before. You don't do that anymore, though.
No, sir. I've been trying to clean up my act.
Well, you have.
I'm working 2 jobs, and I was young then.
You were convicted. Did you do confinement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after you got out of confinement is when you got the job at United Express?
Correct.
And you've been doing the work for the roofing on the side?
Right.
And you've been hanging out with Ms. Washington?
Yeah. We're neighbors.
Your neighbors. Sir, if I might have that exhibit back, please. So, as a convicted offender, don't you have a responsibility to tell the Royal Garden Apartments before you move in?
I'm not aware.
You're not aware? So you don't know to what level your conviction requires additional restrictions on your activities?
Correct.
But you were convicted of lewd and lascivious exhibition?
Right. I'm not a child predator or anything. I
can understand
my girlfriend in the park.
Sir, I absolutely
at
understand.
night, in the middle of the night.
I absolutely understand that you don't want anyone in this room to think that you might be preying on the Washington children.
No,
and I have no evidence
not.
of that. I have no evidence
I
of that.
was also a kid, I was a kid when that happened.
Well, let's look, sir. You're how old now?
24.
You're 24? This occurred 6 years ago?
Correct.
So you were 18.
I was 18. I was young and stupid, though.
Well, stupid is trespassing. You've done that as well, right?
Yes, sir.
But stupid's not sexual assault.
I wouldn't call it sexual assault.
Well, and stupid is not molestation.
No.
Stupid would be lewd and lascivious exhibition, at least as you define it.
I'm sorry. I was referring, it would be stupid if other people did it, but I haven't done any of that behavior.
But you've actually been convicted of lewd and lascivious exhibition.
Correct.
Which means that your privates were on display in public.
It was at night. There was no one around except for apparently the police. I wouldn't say they were on exhibition.
Well, looks like a jury disagreed with you. We'll move on. Now, as you lived next door to Miss Washington before the accident, did your relationship with her continue after the children died?
Yes, sir.
So she's talked with you about how difficult this has been for her many times.
We've talked about it a few times, especially right after it happened.
And you've been there to give her comfort?
I've been trying,
and
any friend would do.
Of course.
It's nothing more than just trying to be a good friend to her.
Well, you care about her.
I do.
And she cares about you.
Right.
And you want her life to be as good as her life can be.
Yeah. I'd say that for anyone, any of my friends.
Now, you didn't actually see any of the cars hit the children.
No.
You knew these children.
I knew the children.
They were in the community center without their mother.
Is that a question?
That night? Yes, that's a question, sir.
Yeah, they were there.
Now, you were there.
Yes.
You're the next door neighbor.
Yes.
You were done playing basketball.
Right.
You're just cooling down.
Correct.
I believe your words were just kind of shooting the breeze with the guys or something like that.
Yeah, we were just hanging out, talking about the game. Talking about the NBA games.
You didn't walk those kids across the street.
No.
You didn't take them home.
No, sir.
You hung out at the basketball court.
Yes.
And they walked across the street by themselves. Is that correct?
I guess so. I guess that is correct.
But you don't know, do you? Because you weren't with them.
I saw them.
You did not see them enter the street.
No, I didn't.
You did not see them step in front of a car.
No, I didn't.
You
I saw them laying in the road.
You didn't see them step in front of a van.
No.
So you're friends with their mother, but you don't walk the children across the street when they need to get home.
I didn't know they needed to get home.
Okay. I bet you wish you could go back and do things differently, don't you?
No, sir. I don't feel like I'm on trial here.
Well, we'll see. Thank you, Mr. Merinov.
Thank you.